My life fits inside a small box. Wake up, open the bookstore, stack shelves, go home, scroll my phone until I fall asleep. That's it. That's been it for 3 years. I used to think I'd grow out of it. I didn't. You're doing it again, Jordan said, dropping into the chair across from me at the coffee shop, staring at your phone like it owes you money. It's not your business. It's Chloe Bennett, isn't it? I didn't answer. That was answer enough. Chloe was the one bright spot in my box of a life. I found her account a year ago. Funny videos, honest captions, a laugh that didn't feel fake like everyone else online. I never talked to her. I never expected to. I just watched, every day, like she was a window into a life I didn't have anymore. Dude, you don't even know her, Jordan said. I know enough. You know a highlight reel. He wasn't wrong. But I didn't want to hear it. My phone buzzed. A notification. Chloe posted. I opened it before I could stop myself. Lost my wallet somewhere near the campus quad this morning. Cash, cards, everything. If you find it and return it with everything inside, I'll date you. I'm serious. DM me loudly crying face. I read it twice. Then a third time. What? Jordan leaned over, reading my screen upside down. That's not real. Obviously not. People say stuff like that for views. She's not gonna date some random guy who finds a wallet. I know that. Do you though? Because you've got that look. What look? The look you get right before you do something stupid. I laughed, but it came out flat. I'm not doing anything stupid. It's a joke post. She'll pick someone with the most followers and make a video out of it. Good. Glad we agree. Jordan took a sip of his coffee. So you're not gonna go looking for it? No. Because that would be pathetic. I said no, Jordan. He smiled the way he always does when he already knows he's won. She said near the quad, right? By the big oak tree, she said in the video. I didn't watch the video. Yeah, you did. You watch everything she posts. I didn't argue that one. It's what, a 10-minute walk from here, Jordan said, standing up. Come on, let's go look. If it's not there, we go home and I never bring it up again. And if it is there, then you got a date with your internet crush. Either way, we win. I told myself I was only going because it was a nice day. I told myself I wasn't actually hoping to find it. But my chest felt tight the whole walk over, and I don't get my chest tight over nice weather. The quad was busy. Students cutting across the grass, someone playing music too loud from a speaker, a dog chasing a frisbee it clearly wasn't going to catch. Jordan pointed toward the big oak tree near the library steps. There. That's the spot from the video. This is stupid, I said. You said that already. Look anyway. I don't know why I actually looked. Maybe because some small part of me, the part one don't like admitting exists, wanted it to be real. Wanted, just once, for something good to fall into my hands without me having to fight for it. I crouched near the base of the tree, pushing aside a patch of grass grown too long. And there it was. A wallet. Small, brown, a little worn at the corners. Half hidden under a fallen leaf like it had been waiting for someone to notice it. No way, Jordan said behind me. No way. My hands were already shaking before I picked it up. Ethan, that's actually it. Open it. Check the ID. I flipped it open. A driver's license stared back at me. Chloe Bennett. I stood there frozen, wallet in my hand, heart pounding like I'd run 5 miles instead of walked 10 minutes. You have to text her, Jordan said. Right now, before someone else finds it and lies. I should have felt happy, excited, like the luckiest guy in the world. Instead, something cold moved through my chest. Quiet, small, easy to ignore. I ignored it. I didn't know yet that this wallet wasn't luck at all. I didn't know it was about to tear my whole life back open. I told Jordan I'd message Chloe once I got home. That was true. I also told him I just wanted to check the wallet first, make sure everything was still inside before I handed it back. That was true too. What I didn't say was why my hands hadn't stopped shaking since the quad. I sat on my bed with the wallet in my lap like it might bite me. My phone buzzed. Jordan, you text her yet? Me, in a minute. Jordan. Dude, it's been 20 minutes. Me, I said in a minute. I set the phone face down and opened the wallet properly this time. Cash, folded neat, more than I expected someone to just lose. A student ID with her photo, smiling the way she smiles in every video, easy and bright. A coffee shop punch card, 6 stamps in, 2 away from a free drink she was never gonna get from me delivering this. Normal stuff. Nothing that should have made my stomach turn. Then I noticed the small pocket behind the ID slot, the one most people forget exists. Something was tucked inside it, thin and soft at the edges like it had been carried around a long time. A photograph. I pulled it out carefully, like it was something that could break. And then I stopped breathing. It was Mia, my sister, 16 years old, head thrown back, laughing so hard her eyes were shut. I knew that laugh. I'd heard it my whole life before I stopped hearing it at all. I knew that dress too. She wore it to her birthday party. The one Mom threw in the backyard with the string lights we still haven't taken down. I knew this photo. I had a copy of it myself, in a box I don't open anymore. What? I said out loud to no one. Is this doing in her wallet? My hands were shaking harder now, and it had nothing to do with excitement. I turned the photo over. There was handwriting on the back. Small, slanted, pressed hard enough into the paper that you could feel the letters if you ran your thumb across them. Miss you already, M. Never forget this one. The room went very quiet. Or maybe I just stopped hearing anything else. I knew that handwriting. I knew it the way you know your own name, the way you know a smell that takes you back to a place you never wanted to return to. I'd stared at that handwriting 100 times, on 100 sleepless nights, trying to match it to a face that never showed itself. Screenshots. I had screenshots. I got up so fast the wallet slid off my lap onto the floor. I didn't pick it up. I went straight to my closet, pulled down the old shoebox from the top shelf, the one Mom doesn't know I kept. Inside, folders, printouts, screenshots I saved 3 years ago because some part of me refused to let the police close the case just because nobody could prove who was behind the account. At nobody_cares_2020. The account that messaged Mia for months. The account that called her things I still can't repeat out loud. The account that was still active the night she didn't come home. Still posting, still laughing at her, hours after everyone else had already found out what happened. I never found out who ran it. Nobody did. It just went quiet after, like the person behind it knew exactly when to disappear. I found the printed screenshot I was looking for, one of the rare ones where the account owner had signed off a private message with initials instead of the username. Sloppy, careless, the only mistake they ever made. M. Same slant. Same pressure on the letters. Same handwriting as the back of that photo. My phone buzzed again. Jordan. Ethan? You good? I stared at the screen for a long time before I answered. Me, something's wrong. Jordan, wrong how? Did she seem sketchy in the video or something? Me, there's a photo in her wallet. Me, it's my sister. Jordan. What? Jordan. What do you mean it's your sister? Me, I mean it's Mia. In the wallet. With handwriting on the back that matches the account that went after her. The 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Took Jordan almost a full minute to respond, which for him is basically an eternity. Jordan, are you sure? Me. I've read that handwriting 100 times, Jordan. I'm sure. Jordan, okay, don't do anything yet. Don't text her yet. We need to think about this. I sat back down on the edge of my bed, the photo in one hand, the screenshot in the other, holding 2 pieces of the same broken thing 3 years apart. I'd spent a year quietly falling for a girl I only knew through a screen. A girl whose laugh made me feel like maybe the world wasn't only bad news and empty rooms. And now her wallet was sitting on my floor, holding the one piece of proof I'd been searching for since the worst night of my life. I didn't know yet if Chloe was the answer. But I knew, sitting there in the quiet of my room, that I wasn't just returning a wallet anymore. I was walking straight into whatever this was. And there was no walking back out of it the same person I'd been an hour ago. Jordan called me 20 minutes after our last messages. I picked up on the first ring. Talk to me, he said. What's going on in your head right now? I don't know how to explain it. Try. You went quiet on me and that's never good. I sat down on the floor, back against my bed, the photo still in my hand. You remember what happened to Mia? All of it. You're the only one who does. I remember, Jordan said, quieter now. Then you remember the account. At nobody_cares_2020. Yeah. I remember. I closed my eyes. I didn't want to say the next part out loud, but it had been sitting in my chest for 3 years, waiting for a reason to come out. It started small, I said. A comment here, a joke there. Mia laughed it off at first. She said, it's just some troll, everyone gets them. Then it wasn't just comments anymore. It moved to messages. Direct ones. I know, man. Let me finish. Please. Jordan went quiet. The messages got worse every week. Calling her things I'm not gonna repeat. Posting stuff about her looks, her friends, stuff nobody outside our house should have known. Which meant whoever it was close. Close enough to know things. You never told the police that part. I told them everything. They said there wasn't enough to trace the account. Some burner thing, untraceable server, whatever. They said it happens all the time and there's nothing they can do unless it crosses into a direct threat. And then it did. My throat tightened. And then it did. I didn't need to explain the rest to Jordan. He was there. He drove me to the hospital that night. He sat in the waiting room with me for 6 hours while my mom cried into my dad's shoulder and nobody said the word funeral yet because it felt too real to say out loud. Mia was 16. She had a whole life waiting for her. And some anonymous account decided that wasn't going to happen. The account went quiet right after, I said. Like whoever it was knew exactly what they'd done. Not one post since. Just gone. You never stopped looking, though? No. 2 years, Ethan. You built spreadsheets. You cross-referenced usernames. You stayed up until 4 in the morning some nights trying to match writing styles to accounts that followed her. I watched you do it. And I never found anything. Not one solid lead. Just dead ends and burner accounts and people online who thought I was crazy for still caring. You're not crazy. Then why couldn't I find them, Jordan? Why did 3 years go by and the only proof I ever had was a handwriting style I memorized from screenshots that never led anywhere? Jordan didn't answer right away. And now, I said, my voice cracking, I'm holding a photo of my sister, in the wallet of a girl I've had a stupid crush on for a year, with handwriting on the back that matches those screenshots exactly. Okay, Jordan said slowly. Okay, let's think about this. There's nothing to think about. I found it. You found a connection. That's not the same as finding an answer. Maybe Chloe's not even involved. Maybe someone gave her that photo. Maybe she doesn't even know what it means. Or maybe she's exactly who I've been looking for and I've spent a year following her, liking her videos, falling for her, while I couldn't finish the sentence. You don't know that yet, Jordan said. I know enough to be sick to my stomach right now. So what do you want to do? Message her right now, wallet in hand, and just what? Accuse her? On what? A photo and a hunch. I looked down at the picture of Mia laughing at her birthday party. 3 years frozen in a moment none of us knew would matter this much. I don't know, I admitted. You've got 2 options here, Jordan said. You go to her tonight, wallet and photo and everything, and you say what you think. Or you slow down. Find out more first. Because if you're wrong, you just torched the one good thing you've had in years over a coincidence. And if I'm right? Jordan was quiet for a moment. Then you finally get the answer you've been looking for since the night she died. But you don't get it by being reckless. You get it by being smart. I stared at the photo until the edges blurred. 3 years of unanswered questions sat in my chest like a stone that never moved. And now, for the first time since that night, I had something that might actually crack it open. I just didn't know yet if I was ready for what I'd find on the other side. I put the photo in my pocket before I left. Not the wallet. I wanted to see her reaction without anything giving her a head start. She'd messaged me an address, a coffee shop near campus, the same one from the punch card. I stood outside for a full minute before I made myself walk in. And then there she was, sitting at a corner table, hair pulled back different from her videos, but the same easy energy the second she saw me. She stood up fast, both hands pressed together like she was praying. "Oh my gosh, you actually found it," she said. "I didn't think anyone would. I posted that thing half joking, honestly." "Half joking," I repeated. "Okay, maybe like 60% joking." She laughed, and it was the same laugh from her videos, warm and easy, the one that used to make my whole day better. I mean, I really did lose my wallet, that part's true. The dating part was just, I don't know, engagement bait, kind of. I didn't expect it to actually work. I handed her the wallet. Cash is all there. ID, punch card. She opened it, checked quickly, then looked up at me with something close to relief. "Thank you. Seriously. This is the third time I've lost something this month. My manager's gonna kill me." "Manager?" "Long story." She waved it off and gestured to the chair across from her. "Sit, please. Least I can do is buy you coffee." Or, she smirked. Technically, I did promise a date. For a second, just a second, I let myself smile back. "I don't think you meant that literally." "No, but it's funny how many guys DM'd me acting like I did." She rolled her eyes. "You didn't even DM me. Your friend just messaged from your account, right? That's kind of refreshing, not gonna lie." I sat down. I told myself I was only staying to ask the question, but for a few minutes, sitting across from her, hearing her talk the way I'd imagined 100 times while scrolling her videos alone in my room, I forgot why I'd come at all. "So what do you do?" she asked. "When you're not rescuing wallets from random trees?" "I work at a bookstore." "That's so, I don't know, that fits you somehow. You seem like a bookstore person." "Is that a compliment?" "Extremely." I laughed. Actual real laugh, not the tight one I usually give people. For a moment, I wasn't thinking about screenshots or handwriting or shoeboxes on closet shelves. I was just a guy sitting across from a girl he liked, having a normal conversation. Then my hand brushed the photo in my pocket, and everything came rushing back. "Hey," I said, trying to sound casual. "This is gonna sound random, but there was a photo in your wallet, behind your ID." Her smile flickered, just barely. If I hadn't been watching for it, I might have missed it. "Oh yeah, that's just an old friend." "Old friend. MHM. She reached for her coffee cup, even though it looked empty. "From a while back. I keep it in there for, I don't know, sentimental reasons, I guess." "What's her name?" "Does it matter?" She said it lightly, like a joke, but her eyes weren't laughing anymore. "Just curious. It's kind of a personal thing, honestly." She glanced toward the door, then back at me, and forced the smile back into place. "Why? Does it matter to you?" I looked at her for a long moment. I knew that look. I'd worn it myself plenty of times the last 3 years, whenever someone asked me something I didn't want to answer. "No," I said. "Just curious." But I wasn't just curious. I knew, sitting there, the same way you know a storm is coming before the sky even changes color. She was lying. "I should get going," I said, standing up before she could see anything else on my face. "Wait, really? I didn't even get you that coffee." "Next time." I walked out of that coffee shop with my hands shoved in my pockets, one fist wrapped tight around a photo of a girl I used to know, and the other empty, aching for a version of that conversation where I never had to ask about it at all. I didn't know which part of me to listen to, the part that liked her, or the part that still hadn't buried my sister. I told Jordan everything the second I got home. The flicker in her smile, the way she dodged the name, the way she looked at the door like she wanted an exit. "She's lying," I said. "I know she's lying." "Okay, but lying about what exactly?" "Maybe it's an ex. People get weird about exes." "It's not an ex, Jordan. It's Mia." "You don't know that for sure yet." "I know enough." Jordan sighed through the phone. "Look, before you do something we can't take back, let me try something. This isn't the first wallet post she's done." "What do you mean?" "I mean, I searched her page while you were out playing Coffee Date. She did almost the exact same thing 5-6 months ago. Different wallet, same setup. Some guy found it, and there's this whole clip of it going around." "Show me." He sent the link. A video, grainy, filmed off someone's phone during a live stream. A guy stood next to Chloe, awkward, hopeful, holding up a wallet like a trophy. And then the chat exploded with laughing emojis as Chloe made a joke I couldn't quite hear, and the guy's face fell in real time while thousands of people watched. "Who is that?" I said. "Guy's name is Ryan Okafor. He's actually not hard to find. He posted about it after, pretty upset. I found his account in like 2 minutes. Message him." "Already did." Ryan called back within the hour. His voice was tired, like he'd told this story more than once and was sick of it. "You're the new guy, huh?" he said. "The wallet guy." "Yeah. Man, I feel for you already. What happened to you?" "On the stream." Short version, I found her wallet just like the post said. Showed up thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe something real could happen. Instead she puts me on a live stream, plays it up like it's this big romantic moment, and then turns the whole thing into a joke. Too eager, she called it. Like I was pathetic for actually caring. That's messed up. Yeah, well, here's the thing though. Ryan's voice dropped lower. It wasn't really her idea. Not at first, anyway. What do you mean? There's a guy, Derek, runs her whole page, calls himself her manager, but he's more like, I don't know, a puppet master. He was the one setting up the camera before I even got there. He fed her the jokes through her earpiece. I heard him. She wasn't even the one making fun of me, not really. She was reading lines. I felt something cold settle in my chest. So she's not the one running things. She's not the one you need to worry about, Ryan said. It's the guy behind her. Derek's the one pulling strings on everything she posts. If something felt off to you, look at him, not her. I didn't know what to do with that. Part of me wanted it to be true, wanted an easy reason to keep liking her. The other part knew wanting something doesn't make it real. Thanks, man, I said. Seriously. Watch yourself, Ryan said before hanging up. People like that don't like getting caught. I sat there staring at my phone, replaying his words, when a new message came in. Not from Jordan. From an account I didn't recognize. Sophie_. Hey, this might sound weird, but is this Ethan? The guy who returned Chloe's wallet? Me, yeah. Who's this? Sophie_. I'm Chloe's assistant. Sophie. I don't usually do this, but something about today felt off and I can't stop thinking about it. Me, off how? Sophie_. These wallet posts aren't random. Derek sets them up. Picks the winner based on followers usually, or how good they'll look on camera. It's engagement content. That's all it's ever been. Me. So today wasn't real either? Sophie_. That's the thing. It wasn't set up the normal way. Derek didn't pick you. You actually found it on your own before he could stage anything. Me, why does that matter? Sophie_. Because he panicked when he found out. I heard him on the phone right after, saying someone got to the wallet before he could handle it. I don't know what that means, but it didn't sound good. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding. Me, was there a photo in the wallet? Behind her ID? There was a long pause before Sophie answered. Sophie_. I don't know about a photo, but Chloe's been off all day since you left the coffee shop. Quiet. Won't talk to Derek. That's not normal for her. Sophie_. Whatever you found, I think it matters. I think you should be careful who you trust in this though. It's not who you think. I set the phone down slowly. Jordan called back 30 seconds later. You get anything? Yeah, I said. I think we've been looking at the wrong person this whole time. Chloe. No. I thought about Ryan's voice, tight and warning. I thought about Sophie's messages, careful and scared. Derek. Sophie messaged again the next morning. Sophie_. Derek's moving forward with it anyway. He wants you on tonight's live stream. Me, for what? Sophie_. The wallet winner segment. Same thing he did to Ryan. He's framing it like a follow-up to yesterday. Did the wallet finder get his date? It's a joke to him. You're the punchline. I read that twice before I called Jordan. He wants to humiliate me on camera, I said. Same as Ryan. You're not doing it, right? I don't know yet. Ethan, come on. Just listen. I paced my room, phone pressed to my ear. If I don't show up, nothing changes. Derek keeps running his little show. Chloe keeps reading whatever lines he feeds her. And I never find out what that photo means. So you're walking into a trap on purpose. I'm walking in with my eyes open. That's different. Sophie messaged again before Jordan could argue further. Sophie_. There's something else you should know. This isn't a one-time thing. Derek's done this segment 3 times now. Different guy each time. He picks whoever's easiest to embarrass, builds it up like something sweet, then Chloe rejects them live. Views go crazy every time. This is basically the format now. Me. And she just goes along with it? Sophie_. She used to push back more. Lately she just does what he tells her. I don't think she likes it. I just don't think she knows how to stop it anymore. I stared at that message a long time. Me. Did you ever ask her about the photo? Sophie_. I tried. She shut down completely. Said it wasn't something Derek scripted, wasn't part of any of this. Said it was hers before she even started the page, before she met Derek at all. Me, so it's not part of his plan. Sophie_. No. And that's what's weird. Derek doesn't know everything about her past. Not really. But that photo, whatever it is, it's something she's carried around this whole time on her own. Nobody told her to keep it. I sat down slowly on the edge of my bed. Something about that detail sat heavier than anything else Sophie had said. If Derek scripted the wallet contests, scripted the humiliation, scripted every fake tear and forced laugh for the camera, then the photo wasn't part of any of that. It was hers. Personal. Something she chose to carry, not something anyone told her to. Which meant whatever connected her to Mia wasn't a coincidence built by a man running a content machine. It was real. Jordan, I said, I have to go tonight. Ethan, not for the wallet thing. Not to be humiliated on camera for views. I'm going because I need to ask her, in front of everyone, where that photo came from. Because if I do it privately, Derek finds a way to control the story. If I do it live, he can't. Jordan was quiet for a second. You really think she'll answer honestly? On camera? With him standing right there? I don't know. But it's the only shot I've got before he finds a way to bury it. This could blow up in your face. Bad. It already blew up in my face 3 years ago, Jordan. I just didn't know it yet. He didn't have an answer for that. Sophie sent one more message before the night was over. Sophie_. Stream starts at 8. Derek's got a whole script planned for you, the wallet, the date, all of it. Just so you're not walking in blind. Me, thanks. I'm not going to follow his script though. Sophie_. I figured. Be careful. He doesn't like getting caught off guard, and he really doesn't like losing control of a narrative. Me, neither do I anymore. I put my phone down and looked at the photo sitting on my desk. Mia, laughing, 16 years old and frozen in a moment none of us knew would end up matching this much 3 years later. I thought about the shoebox in my closet. The screenshots. The handwriting that matched. I thought about Chloe's face flickering at the coffee shop. The way she reached for an empty cup just to have something to hold on to. Derek built a stage to embarrass strangers for views. Fine. Let him build it. Tonight, I was going to stand on that stage and ask the one question his script never accounted for. Not will you go out with me? Not how does it feel to be rejected on camera? Just one question, simple and direct, the only one that mattered anymore. Where did you get that photo? I didn't know what would happen when I asked it. I didn't know if Chloe would answer, or freeze, or find some new lie to hide behind on camera in front of thousands of strangers. But I knew I wasn't leaving that stream without an answer. 3 years of silence had gone on long enough. The studio was smaller than I expected. A ring light, 2 cameras, Derek pacing behind them with a headset around his neck like he owned the room. Chloe sat on a stool under the light, and when she saw me walk in, something in her face tightened. Ethan, there he is, Derek said, clapping once like I was a prize he'd won. Wallet guy himself. You ready for this? Ready for what exactly? Just have some fun with it. Chloe's gonna ask you a few things, you play along, it'll be great. He tapped the side of his headset. We're live in 60 seconds. Just relax. Chloe wouldn't look at me. The camera light blinked red. Hey everyone. Chloe's voice shifted the second the stream started. Brighter. Performed. So remember that wallet I lost? Well, this is the guy who found it. The chat scrolled fast, too fast to read. Derek stood just off camera, mouthing something at Chloe I couldn't hear. "So, Ethan," Chloe said, reading from a script I could see reflected faintly in her eyes. "I did technically promise a date to whoever returned everything inside. But, before we get to that," I said, "I actually have a question." Derek's smile flickered. "We can save questions for after. Let's just—" "It's about the wallet," I said, cutting him off. "I think people would want to hear this." Chloe glanced at Derek, uncertain. He gave a small nod like he still thought he had control of this. I reached into my pocket and pulled out the photo. I held it up to the camera. "There was a photo tucked behind your ID," I said, looking straight at Chloe now. "A girl, 16, laughing at a birthday party. You told me at the coffee shop it was an old friend." Chloe's face went still. "I need you to tell me the truth. Where did you get this photo?" "Okay, this isn't really stream content," Derek cut in, forcing a laugh. "Let's keep it light, guys." "I'm not asking you," I said. "I'm asking her." The chat exploded. I didn't look at it. I kept my eyes on Chloe. "That's not—" Chloe started, then stopped. Her hand went to her mouth. I turned the photo over. "There's handwriting on the back," I said, my voice shaking now, no matter how hard I tried to hold it steady. "Says miss you already, M. Never forget this one." I read it slow, every word landing like a stone dropped in water. "I know this handwriting. I've spent 3 years staring at screenshots that match it exactly." "Ethan, please," Chloe's voice cracked. "That girl in the photo is my sister," I said. "Her name was Mia. She was 16. She died 3 years ago after months of being harassed online by an anonymous account nobody could ever trace." The studio went dead silent except for the low hum of the camera. Chloe's eyes filled with tears, and for the first time since I met her, nothing about her face looked performed at all. "I didn't know," she whispered. "Ethan, I swear, I didn't know what that photo was. I never asked." "Then whose is it?" She looked past me, toward Derek, and something shifted in her expression. Confusion sliding into horror in real time. "It was in a box of his old stuff," she said slowly, like she was putting pieces together as she spoke. "From before we started dating. He said it was from a friend group he used to run with before the page, before any of this. He never talked about it. I found the photo years ago and I kept it. I don't even know why. I liked her face. She looked happy." "Chloe, camera's still rolling," Derek said, his voice sharp now, no performance left in it at all. "Cut the feed. Whose handwriting is on the back?" I asked louder this time, not letting go. Chloe turned the photo over in her mind. I could see it happening, some terrible math clicking into place behind her eyes. "That's his," she said. "That's Derek's handwriting." The words landed in the room like a door slamming shut. "Cut it. Cut the stream. Now," Derek said, stepping toward the camera operator, who hesitated, hand hovering over the switch. "No, wait," Chloe said, standing up fast, the stool scraping loud against the floor. "Derek, what is this? What friend group? What happened to this girl? This isn't the time. You told me you didn't know her. You said it was just some old picture." "Chloe, we can talk about this off camera." "We're on camera, Derek. Thousands of people are watching you. Tell me to shut up right now." I stood there, photo still in my hand, watching 3 years of unanswered questions collapse into a single, unscripted moment nobody could control anymore. "The account was called Nobody_2020, I said quietly, my voice barely above the hum of the studio lights. "It targeted my sister for months. It went silent the night she died. I've spent 3 years trying to find out who was behind it." Derek's face had gone white. "I think," I said, "everyone watching just found out." The chat wasn't scrolling with jokes anymore. It was full of names, screenshots people were already digging up, questions nobody could stop asking now that they'd started. Derek lunged for the camera cord. It didn't matter. It was already too late. I didn't sleep that night. I just watched my phone light up over and over, notification after notification. like the world had cracked open while I sat frozen in my room. Jordan called at 6 in the morning. "You seeing this?" he said, before I even answered properly. "Seeing what?" "Everything. It's everywhere, Ethan." People pulled old posts from Derek's accounts, found deleted usernames that matched the writing style, found people he used to run content for years ago who are coming forward now saying they suspected something was off. It's not just a theory anymore. People are confirming it. I sat up, scrolling through screenshot after screenshot. Comparisons of handwriting samples. Old cached posts someone dug up from years back. A digital trail I'd spent 3 years searching for alone, now assembled overnight by thousands of strangers who'd never even met Mia. "His management company dropped him this morning," Jordan said. "Saw it on their page. No statement, just deleted every post with his name in it." That was fast. When money's involved, it always is. My phone buzzed again. A message from Sophie. Sophie_, "It's done. Chloe cut ties with him completely. She's posting something later today. Wanted you to know before it goes up." Me. "Is she okay?" Sophie_, "Honestly? No. But I think for the first time in a long time she's not performing anything. That has to count for something." I didn't know what to feel. Part of me had spent 3 years imagining this moment. The person responsible, finally named, finally losing everything. I thought it would feel like winning. Didn't. Felt hollow. Quiet. Like setting down something heavy I'd carried so long I forgot what my arms felt like without it. Chloe's video went up that afternoon. No ring light this time. No script. Just her. Sitting in a plain room, eyes red, talking straight into the camera. "I'm not gonna pretend I have this all figured out," she said. "I built this page thinking I was in control of my own story. Turns out I wasn't, not really. Someone I trusted was writing a version of me that made him money, and I didn't ask enough questions about who he really was before I let him." She paused, swallowing hard. "There's a girl named Mia," she said. "I never knew her. I carried a photo of her for 2 years without knowing what happened to her, without knowing Derek had anything to do with why she's not here anymore. I can't undo that. I can't give her family back what they lost. All I can do is tell the truth now, completely, and stop being part of hiding it." She looked directly into the camera. "To her brother, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Not the empty kind of sorry people say for views. I mean it." I closed the video and sat there for a long time, not saying anything, not really thinking anything either. Just sitting. Jordan texted an hour later. "Jordan, how you doing?" Me, "Honestly, I don't know." Jordan, "You got what you were looking for." Me, "I got a name. I don't know if that's the same thing." I drove out to the cemetery that evening, the photo in my jacket pocket the whole way. I hadn't been in months. I used to come every week right after it happened, then it slowly became once a month, then barely at all, like some part of me had decided that showing up hurt more than staying away. Mia's headstone was simple. Her name, her dates, one line my mom picked out. "Forever 16, forever loved." I sat down on the grass in front of it. "I found him," I said. "Took 3 years, but I found him." The wind moved through the trees behind me. I pulled the photo out of my pocket and held it, looking at her laughing face one more time. I thought if I ever found out who did it, I'd feel different. Lighter, maybe. I don't. I just feel tired. I ran my thumb along the edge of the photo. But I think that's okay. I think maybe this was never about feeling better. It was about not letting you be forgotten. And I didn't. I never did. I thought about the last 3 years, the spreadsheets, the sleepless nights, the shoebox in my closet full of proof nobody wanted to look at until now. "I'm gonna keep this picture," I told her. "Not as evidence anymore. Not as something I need to prove anything with. Just because it's you laughing, and I want to remember you like that instead of everything after." I sat there until the sky started turning orange, until my legs went stiff from the cold ground, until I felt something in my chest loosen just slightly. Not healed, not finished, but different than it had been that morning. 3 years of silence had finally ended. Not with the revenge I imagined. Not with anything clean or satisfying. Just with the truth, finally out in the open, and a photo of my sister laughing that I could hold now without my hands shaking. I stood up, brushed the grass off my jeans, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I was carrying the whole weight alone anymore. Want to be notified when Claude responds? Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double check.